In order to make your S22 Ultra device much more better, here are some settings you need to change right away. And by the way, the most of these settings work also for the other S22 devices.
Hey guys, I'm Nasser from an update and welcome to my channel.
So, starting with the first one, the S22 Ultra has a beautiful bright vivid display, and if you are watching HDR content, which it does support, you are going to enable a specific feature to really enhance the brightness of this panel. Let me show you exactly. You are going to go into your settings, then go under advanced feature, then scroll down until you see the video brightness. Tap on that and by default normal is enabled, which will play videos using your phone's normal brightness in color settings. Selecting bright will temporarily increase the screen brightness and make colors look more vibrant when you play videos, and this means that it's going to give you the most out of this HDR panel. So this is what I like to enable, but it will consume more battery life, and down here are the supported apps, so you can toggle them on and off depending if you want some to use the setting and some not. And speaking of the display, you might know that the S22 Ultra has a 1440p W-Quad HT Plus display. However, that is not enabled by default. To enable this, swipe down, open the settings, then scroll down to display, then you can scroll down to resolution. Then you change it to 1440p. Now this affects your battery life, so just keep that in mind. If you want your battery to last as long as possible, then don't set it to 1440p. Next, to show the brightness control, bring your notification bar, swipe down again and tap the three dots on the top right corner. You will then tap the quick panel layout and change the brightness control to show always. So now you just swipe one time down, you will already have the brightness there and you don't have to swipe down again to access it. Now, speaking of the animation, and this might blow your mind. So you are going to swipe down, click settings and scroll all the way down to about phone, and then you tap software information and then find the build number and then just click on it many times until it turns on developer mode. Then you can go back and back again, and at the very bottom you will see developer options. So in here there is a bunch of more in-depth settings, but today we are going to look for animation scaling. So as you can see here, there are the three animation scaling options and they are all set to 1x, but we will change them to 0.5x. So now all of your animations, like when you go to recents, when you go home, it just happens twice as fast. Now, speaking of the sound, to enable Dolby Atmos, swipe down. This is going to bring the quick settings panel automatically, and then find Dolby Atmos. By default, Dolby Atmos will then turn on automatically for whatever you are listening to. You can configure that so Dolby Atmos only turns on when you are watching a movie, listening to music or talking on the phone. Also, if it's not already on, enable Dolby Atmos for gaming to get surrounding sound when you game on your phone. And here we have a camera setting, and this one is very important if you want to make sure to use that 108 megapixel sensor on your phone. Open up your camera app, and by default it is going to take a picture with 12 megapixel on your main sensor, so we will change that. By default, this option on the top is 3x4, which is 12 megapixel. But if you tap it, you see that you have this option on the top left for 108 megapixel 3x4, and that's how we take 108 megapixel photo. It's not always the best to use this high resolution photo because it will be worse in low light and it will take much of a storage, but it really works well. Speaking of the fantastic camera, it has a great pro mode, but if you want even more out of this camera, you can download the Expert RAW app. which unlocks 16-bit RAW, and it's awesome to use that. Let me show you how to download it, and then how you can edit those photos. To download it, go into the Galaxy Store and then do a search for Expert RAW. You will see it pop up, download it, then go ahead and launch it. It's very familiar, it works just like the Pro mode in the stock camera app. Go ahead and take a quick picture like so. It is going to capture that picture in 16-bit RAW, so you have a lot of information to edit. Now go into Snapseed like so, and then pull up the photo that we just took right here, and you will see a RAW photo editing now available. Tap done, and you can adjust everything inside the photo right here in Snapseed. So you can raise the exposure like so, and then do all of the tweaking. Snapseed is a free app, and Expert RAW is also a free app. So you can get the most out of this camera for free with these two apps, and I think that it is really cool. And here again we have another camera feature, but this one has to do with the camera editing app on Samsung. Open up your camera roll and then tap the pencil button to open up the photo editor. Once it's opened, tap the three dots on the bottom right, then you will see an option called Labs. And when you open up Labs, it will give you some options to enable, some additional settings. The settings they have is shadow eraser and reflection eraser, and now when these two options are enabled, so you can actually access them in the photo editor. And now back to the photo editor, we're gonna tap the three dots on the bottom right, and these two new features can be found in the object eraser section. So now we have erase reflection and erase shadows.
If it is annoying and you don't want to bring up Bixby every time you press and hold the side button, then you can change it in the settings. In the settings, scroll down until you find advanced features, press on it, and then press on side key, and then in the press and hold section, change it to power off menu.
This is another useful feature. First off, when you open the S Pen menu, you will see there is an add button. Tap that, and here there are some extra cool features, and the cool one is the magnify option. Press on it to add it to the menu, and with it you can basically hover over anything, and magnify can make it bigger and easier to read. This is a decent accessibility feature. You can magnify things by 150%, 200, 250 and 300%. So guys, hope this was helpful. Subscribe for more content and see you next time.